So I'm working on this lacy stole following the pattern called Print to the Wave, which is one of the classic Shetland lace patterns. You can find it in any Shetland lace pattern collection. This is a yarn I found somewhere. I don't know if the label has anything whatever to do with what that yarn on this cone actually is. It's I did a burn test. It smells of hair. It says something in the label that it's Ang 200, so maybe it is Angora in there. Definitely some fiber that has a very soft and fluffy content. I started knitting the inner rectangle and then picked up stitches all around the shawl, which was well over 800. I have to verify that number. And now I'm knitting on this border, which is just this section here, which is knitted this side this ways, and at the end of every left hand row we're picking up one stitch from the main shawl. So let me just see if we can see that a little bit better here. I have blocked, when I was about 30 centimeters in, I blocked this just to see how it would react, and it blocks nicely, but the border, the knitted on border, still is a little bit crumply, so I'll have to of course block the whole shawl again. And also the around the corners here, the edging needs to be stretched out and blocked nicely so that this will get better presentation. And I am about 2/3 around the shawl now, and here is where I'm at currently with the border. So my next row is going to be a purl row. I'm going to pick up that. I'm just going to arrange this here, get enough yarn going, and I picked all these stitches up around the shawl with the same needle that I knitted it on, which is a cable needle. And so the rest of the shawl, everything is on this cable needle, but I don't want to stretch out where this original shawl comes off, the original top edge comes off here, and I'm not knitting with this part of the cable needle, but just for the edge I have a short little sock needle which has the same thickness, the same gauge as the main knitting needle, although these are very sharp, very pointy lace knitting needles, and this guy here is a little bit duller because it's normally used for sock yarn. So I'm now going to purl back this row. The first 2 stitches are knitted, so I'm going to knit 2 and then purl until I get to the main stitches of the inner rectangle, and then I will purl 2 together. So this is taking forever. I had knitted this pattern before in a merino silk blend that I really loved, and here we are. The second but last stitch is knitted, and then the last stitch of the edging and the first stitch of the center of the shawl are purled together. And after knitting so many repeats, I have this pattern memorized pretty much. First stitch is lifted, and then we just go and follow the edging chart, which will take me to a place where I need to knit 3 stitches together, and this is these 3 here. First I do a yarn over, and then I need to knit these 3 together, and that's a little bit tricky, so I'm going to go in there and stretch them out a bit, and then I can come in from the net side and knit those 3 stitches together. Always check that I have really caught all 3 of them, tighten the yarn a bit, and then just go on with the rest of the row and finish knitting the rest of the row. And now you've watched 2 rows of those over 1600 that I am knitting around for the edging of this print of the wave stole.